Good morning. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and the bees are getting ready to go out for their work outside. Today we're going to visit our bee yard at 20 acres. Every bee in the hive has a job. The queen lays her eggs all her life. That's all she does is lay eggs. You'll see her with a blue spot on her back. That helps us to find her when we're working in the hives to make sure we can keep her safe and she doesn't get hurt. She's longer than the other bees as well, so you'll see that there's a difference. In the cells of the hive next to her in the corner, you'll see some white larvae inside. Those are the baby bees that have just hatched out, and their sister bees, the nurse bees, are feeding them a mixture of pollen and honey to help them grow. When they get almost ready to become adults, they will pupate. The larva will be closed over with wax, and then they will sleep and grow in there and turn into grown-up bees. When they're ready to come out, they eat a hole in the wax cap and they come out to join the other worker bees, their sisters, all ready to work. They go straight to work. There's no laying around. They get straight to work. So some of their jobs, they come out and most of them will be female. They will be worker bees. There will be some male bees, and those are drones. Those are what are needed to fertilize a new queen when she's ready to start laying eggs again. The worker bees start off their life as a nurse bee, and they look after the other baby bees, as we talked about. Then as they grow, they get more jobs. They go from job to job as they get more experience. They'll do things like build the honeycomb. They will take the nectar from the bees returning from the field and turn it into honey, and then they will cap it. Some of the bees collect pollen, and they put that into the bottom of a cell, put some nectar on top, let that ferment, and then they cap that, and that's called bee bread, and that's their food. It's the perfect mix of protein, carbohydrates, probiotics, and minerals, and they will live on that. So that's some of and then some will become guard bees, and then the last stage of the bee's life is the foragers that you see flying around out here. Their job is to go out and find the nectar and the pollen and bring it back to the hive. All told, the average worker bee's life is about 6 weeks long, and that's it, and then they die. But these are the ones you'll see visiting your flowers to make the honey. Here we have an example of the bees working together. Not only are they building new comb, you can see the honeycomb there, they're building new comb, but they're also filling that comb with nectar and then capping it like a lid on a jar to make sure the honey stays fresh and doesn't spoil, and it keeps it there for their winter food. This hive, this is where the queen is, laying her eggs and her brood. These three are called honey supers, and they're right full of honey that the bees have made this spring. And this will be what we'll harvest and enjoy on our toast this winter. Right now we have bees coming out of the hive, and you'll see them congregating. They're communicating with each other as to where they're going to go, what they're going to do. They're just getting ready. And the other thing they do is they hang around the hive and they fly around, and they'll orient themselves to the hive so that they know which hive to come back to. They memorize where they are. They memorize what their hive looks like. You'll see them flying in front of it. That's what they're doing. They're looking to see which is their hive, and then they know how to find their way home, because they'll fly as much as 8 kilometers away from their hive today, looking for nectar, looking for pollen. And then they have to find their way back, and they're amazing at doing that. The bees they communicate with one another to accomplish all of this. And one of the things that they're really good at is talking to each other and passing their message along. This is something that Jesus has told us to do, is to communicate our love for him with others. And we can learn from the bees how successful that can be. And if we are patient with one another and work together and communicate how we love the Lord, then you will have harmony and peace and quiet, and everyone benefits.